we follow this young man, and he's already walking through his history. And if you think how you were at 20, how your recent past, seems distant. There's something quite romantic and melancholic about a young person looking back at their own lives. And so he walks through places like Lüneburg, where he'd been, where he'd worked before, and he'd been to Lübeck once before, but Buxtehude was the key, because this old man was doing very radical things, and he was looking to hand over to someone. But the thing was, if you wanted to take over the Marienkirche and be the Kapellmeister there, you had to marry his daughter, and nobody wanted to. Handel had been, and Matheson, and they decided not to marry the daughter and not to take it on. But what he was doing was non-religious, so he was doing, in the Advent, the Abend music, he was using the whole space, so he would have musicians all around the church and galleries, this amazing stereophonic, polyphonic sound, and he wasn't limited by a religious lexicon. And so Bach wants to be there and to learn. And all we know, if you think how little we know about Shakespeare, Bach only 100 years later, we know a lot, actually. There's loads of him. So there were bits where we knew we were walking in his footsteps. So we'd pass an oak tree, which was definitely there when he passed himself. And so it was ghost hunting. And I related to this as having been a young writer, hopefully, and when that time when you don't know what you're going to be, and you're full of need and want and lust and thirst. And Bach was a thirsty, lusty, fighting young man. And so it was tremendous fun. And the book was easy because I actually had all 5 days of audio, so I didn't take a single note. I didn't have to. But I didn't listen back to it much. We had a ball, and Lindsay cut the programs beautifully. I think they're still on the iPlayer. They really are worth listening to.